Hello, Pop, it's Chanel here, and I'm so excited because Mrs. Doubtfire is opening on Broadway, and I've got the star of the show here with me. He is the incredibly talented and absolutely charismatic Rob McClure. Thank you for joining me.
I love you. That was very sweet of you. Yeah, I wish people always introduced me that way. Look, you've got a plaid on. You're representing.
And I thought this would be a nice Mrs. Doubtfire sweater.
It is, it's good.
Well, you just literally came out of the rehearsal room.
Just now.
Into this.
I hope I don't look as sweaty as I feel.
Okay. You look good.
Okay, good.
How does turning the story of Mrs. Doubtfire into a musical help bring it to a new level?
We all remember how hysterically funny the movie was and the legendary performance Robin Williams gave. But at the core of that movie are three kids going through a really ugly divorce. I think the score, the musical score of the show, springs out of the struggle that the kids are going through. That's when music is at its best, right? When it's serving the heart of the piece.
How did you know that this was a role that you had to take?
They asked me. I mean, come on. If somebody says, you want to play Mrs. Doubtfire? We're gonna, no. I mean, of course there's a lot of pressure, right? But that's the stuff I love to do, the stuff that scares me.
Robin Williams is so loved and well known for this role. Is it daunting at all?
His performance is in me whether or not I want it to be or not. I watched that movie hundreds of times growing up. We all hear that voice, right? We all know what that feels like. And that's the thing I want to pay homage to more than anything, is how his performance made me feel.
You're on stage for most of the show, and I'm sure there are quick changes.
If you're watching the movie, every time Robin Williams ran into the restroom in that restaurant at the end of the movie, you know that they yelled cut and he went in to do a trailer for 5.5 hours and then came out as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
We're doing it in real time. So there are times where I run into that restroom and 18 seconds later, Mrs. Doubtfire comes out and I can feel the energy in the theater going, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Because that's what Daniel's going through, right? So the ramping up of that energy is theater-wide.
Now, you are a family man yourself.
Yeah.
You get a lot of people from out of town who come to see Broadway shows. What would you recommend as a father of a beautiful young daughter? What would you recommend that they do while they're here, other than, of course, see Mrs. Doubtfire?
We love the zoos. The city has amazing zoos. Central Park, you just spend days. And it's free. And there's, find a corner in Central Park, get a sandwich, and sit on a rock next to a lake.
What is it about the story of Mrs. Doubtfire that you think resonates with so many people?
Having to disguise yourself as an elderly Scottish woman, I think a lot of people struggle with.
So I'm gonna go do it as soon as I leave here.
What I remember most about when the movie came out was all of my friends who came from divorced households being so grateful for there finally being a story where the happy ending is not the parents getting back together. There's something about telling the kids in those families, like, hey, it doesn't mean you're not a family. And our writers have taken that message from the film and not only put it under a magnifying glass, they've done a brilliant job at broadening the scope of family and redefining family in a way that's, I think, going to be profoundly moving and a really good reason for this story to be told now.
Thank you so much for joining me, Rob. Help is on the way, dearies, but you can only get it if you get your tickets to see Mrs. Doubtfire on Broadway. So get your tickets now. Come see my new best friend, Rob.